Oh, this banana's not ripe.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Hit Lounge. I am your host, AJ. Over there is my co-host, Mac Dubs. And down there at the bottom, as it shows on my screen, is our third voice and our lovely partner, Mr. Wilson. How y'all doing tonight?
Great for a Saturday evening.
I just have one thing to say. Oh,
Just
Mr.
one now. Just
Wilson!
Go.
You know, Mac, this should be the perfect time that we introduce Mr. Wilson to our one of our most famous fans, Dennis.
Huh. Oh,
So,
Dan.
if you bear with me a minute, Mr. Wilson, I'm gonna go get Dennis. I'll be right back.
Mr. Wilson, Mr. Wilson. Like that would be aging myself. You guys wouldn't remember that.
Hi, Mr. Wilson.
Yeah, that's right.
My name is Dennis.
Yeah.
All right, Dennis, that's enough. Go away somewhere.
Get out of here. You ungrateful bastard.
I know. Not my fault that his mom went psycho and ended up going to what he calls a comfy van and went to the psych ward. So, bless his heart. No, Mark, that was a character that was brought on from a past joke, and yeah, become world famous now. So, bless his heart. Tonight's topic, everybody, is technology. The world we live in and the pros and cons of the apps in the digital world and all that good shit. So,
Speaking of technology, you know what I bought today? A blender.
Ooh, big spender.
You know how much I only paid like $15 for that blender.
now what's wrong with it?
Nothing.
Oh,
I got it at Walmart. It's not one of those ones that goes. Brrrr. You just press the button and it goes. Brrrr. And there you go. Oh, by the way, we're gonna try some Kubacha raspberry lemonade, 0 sugar.
you know, the name of that drink actually reminded me. I forgot to do the proper introduction as I do usually every Friday and Saturday. It was that I am AJ Witcha, the first and last hit show. Again, another little inside joke. So, tonight's topic, let's talk about it. The pros and cons of apps, digital world, technology. What are you guys' views on that?
Well, give me just 1 second.
Mark, you have any comments on the digital world of today? And
Well, before we get into like today, like technology has like grown very much in the past 100 years. I remember when I was a kid, the cell phone was just one of those big old bulky things that my parents used to carry around, and they couldn't even put it in their pocket.
that was 100 years ago?
No, I'm just saying technology goes over 100 years.
I mean, Mark, what are your thoughts on this? I can't imagine you going that far back, but what are your views on all this?
So
Do you not consider electricity technology?
yeah, I mean, you had an industrial age, you now have a technology age. Prior to that, you can keep going back in different stages, but it's all in how it's used. I mean, it allows you now to basically communicate around the world instantaneously, which you couldn't do prior. It was carrier pigeon practically compared to what you got right now.
Yeah.
But it's just how is that technology used? Is it beneficial to mankind or is it not?
Well, that
I
comes pros and cons of technology.
Well, some of the cons would be, I mean, you lose the personal communication that you couldn't have had. You're missing that one-on-one where now it's, I see somebody virtually. I don't see somebody in person.
Yeah, just like what we're kind of doing now. I mean,
That's correct. But you couldn't even do what we're doing right now 5 years ago,
Right.
10
Yeah,
years ago.
I mean,
You couldn't.
yeah,
You come a long way. And with after COVID, everybody went home and had to go in on Zoom.
That's when those type of apps became very, very popular. The Zoom, all this virtual stuff. That's when it really skyrocketed.
Yeah. Zoom stock made a ton of money. Put it that way. We should have had a little call option on that stock.
Zoom, Google Meets.
All of those, yes.
Google made a ton of money off of Google Meets. I mean, a ton of money.
Yeah.
I mean, even if you go back a little further, you have Facebook Messenger, a simple video call. I can understand if you want to see family that's several states away or whatever, but I mean, I'll be honest with you, Mac and I have been trying to find a way to do in-person shows. Unfortunately, that it didn't end up working, which is okay. But yeah, you lose that personal connection with people and communication. But at the same time, there's also good to having the technology that we
That's a trade-off.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I mean, they've got.
Go ahead.
Oh no, I was saying, like back in the day, when like computers and stuff were like first made. I mean, there was no
Trash
webcams. There was nothing really, but a block, a screen that was either green or black, and everything was, typed out. Nowadays, you have laptops and stuff, and you're doing what we're doing now, and this is how people make money now, just doing what we're doing, and
I
I
mean,
think
and that's the other thing that it really helped. I mean, again, one of the pros is, it gives you an easier way to make money if you really put the work into it. But at the same time, it makes it easier, and it's making people stay home rather than actually going out there and doing the work as if you would 30 years ago when you'd be out there, whether it's bagging groceries or working in a factory or something or other. It's really gotten down to the point where, I'll just stay home and work. I'm very much old school, but at the same time, I feel like you have to earn your luxury, so to speak.
so. Look. This is basically what the old cell phones were like back in the day. Hello, can you hear me? How could you fit this big thing in your pocket? And then you got cell phones like we got iPhones now. Back in the day, there was Apple didn't even exist. There was Mac, but it was Macintosh, and Then there was what?
That's
Nokia.
Apple you eat.
Nokia was the only phone brand that I really knew of back
Yeah,
with my
Motorola.
parents. Motorola, Nextel.
Yep.
But wasn't Motorola and Nextel pretty much the same back in the day?
Yeah, they had, there was very few, and they were always big
Yeah.
because they just, the microprocessor and stuff that in it was just big to start with. So they started figuring out how to make them smaller, pack more stuff into it.
I think like
So-
for like phones, I think like the famous phone was it came out, was it the BlackBerry? The BlackBerry. There was another one called the Palm Pilot.
Yeah, I had one of those. Probably still do
Really?
in a box.
For Motorola, you had the Razor, which was very for its
That
time
was good.
very nice flip phone. My mother-in-law actually had one of those. But you said
I had a
something.
Razor. I had a Razor.
Yeah.
You said something about Nokia earlier, and that just reminded me. Only real people would understand 11352262.
Yeah.
It took you like at least a half hour to write a sentence for a text message back in those days. And believe it or not, that
It
was
took you an hour just to write the word the. The word the. You know. But I mean,
What was it like for
technology
you?
has moved so fast.
Card punch.
Yeah, Mark, what was technology like for you back in the day?
The old man in the group, huh?
Wow.
Punch cards and those big disk drives. Big disk drives, they were huge. They were like a good 18 inches round, and they would hold only 500 meg. Those were the mainframe years.
I still use my old job we used to use punch cards. I mean, now
Still works.
at my other
Still
job we
works.
just we have a digital clock in thing inside the office. And then like when we're out on the road and we like take lunch out on the road, we use a phone app.
Yeah, those programmers were dealing with COBOL back in the days, 85, 70s, and 80s. Boy, they're hard. There's still code out there that has that stuff running too.
Yeah.
It's something that you sit back and you look at everything that our world is today, and there's a lot of good to it. I like it, but at the same time, I find it, for me personally, I don't know about you guys, I find it harder and harder to have that motivation to go outside and actually, enjoy being outside to do things. I find it harder to do things without having an electronic or some type of digital device of some type.
I think that's what this world comes to nowadays is a lot of kids don't know how to play outside anymore. You can go get one of those virtual VRs like you have, Andy, like I have, like anyone else has, and you can simulate mowing the grass, power washing a house, playing on the playground.
Mark, when are you getting yourself a VR?
No, I got to get the Porsche first. No, but you're right. I mean, I saw today on an advertisement a couple of days ago for this automatic lawnmower. It's like $2,500 for a lawnmower that's got sensors on it, so it knows where your kid runs across it or a ball. It goes around it, but it mows your lawn. It's like, what happened to the exercise of actually mowing a lawn?
Yeah, when I was working for a company called Canteen, I was driving, because I used to be a truck driver. I was driving the truck out to one of my destinations, and I was in somewhere. I was in downtown somewhere, and there was a guy. He was just sitting in his truck, and he had like some type of like remote control. And I was like, well, I don't see no toy car. I don't see, no no droid or drone or whatever you call them. No, he was cutting the grass with
Yep.
a remote control.
We are getting more and more into like the Star Wars age of
No,
real life.
well, maybe, but here's one thing I am going to say. Technology can be used for good. It can be used for great things. But I think we are in the lazier version of technology. Um, and I think technology now is making everyone more, not like more focusing at adults, but more towards teens and kids, more lazy.
Yeah.
That's a con.
Well, I mean, it comes
You know.
down to it really comes down to the parenting.
Heck.
I mean, you take the device and you just put it in front of your kid's face so you don't have to bother with them. And it's like that's going to eventually get into the kid's mindset. It's like, oh, I don't have to do any of this. I can just rely on technology. You know, me being old school, I'm very much into teaching my kids that, you know, you need to put in the work and you're going to grow up to learn how me and your mom did things. You know, curfew is, you know, at sundown, you know, look for the lights, things like that. Not having my kid, you know, get used to, oh, well, I can just do this, this, and this with technology. It's like, no, you gonna learn the old stuff, you know, and this way you expand on your education rather than just focusing and just relying on technology. Take the Amish for example. I mean, yeah, I would assume that the Amish live very boring lives, but you can learn a lot from them. You know, especially the younger generation, like this one when she gets older. You know,
If you think that if you think that all Amish people really go by, excuse me, what the older modern Amish people used to do, then you're just believing in the hype.
well, no,
Because
you got the Amish, and then you got the Mennonites.
well, you have the old generation of the mafia, and then you have the new generation.
Yeah,
Very good.
I mean, it's a new generation of literally everything. Mark, what are your thoughts on today's bullshit?
Well, don't even talk about AI.
Oh,
I mean, that's coming, guys. I mean, you already are seeing it. You know, you do type ahead and it starts filling in for you. That's a form of AI. It's reading what you're typing.
funny thing about AI is, I think it was on the news or somewhere I'd seen it. It's getting so scary to where you can have a conversation with an AI version of Will Smith or something, and you can't. You literally you think you're talking to Will Smith. You can't tell the difference. You really have to listen and focus in to even catch a glimpse of the difference. That's when things like that start getting very scary.
You marry that up with quantum computing, and we're in deep crap.
Oh yeah.
You know what? You know what's funny though? This past Super Bowl, one of the Super Bowl commercials. I think Mark knows what I'm talking about because he's laughing. I don't know the lady's name, but he played Stifler's mom in American Pie.
Oh, Jennifer Coolidge.
Yeah,
Hmm?
she was on the. She did a commercial, and she's like, she said something about, man, you AIs are really sounding more lively today. And she goes, you're talking to a real person. Are you sure you're not a robot? And she just drops her jaw like, I don't know.
I mean, but there's so much truth behind that commercial, though. Like, yeah, it's a commercial. They're promoting something, but the truth behind it, when you really sit and think of it, it's scary.
Yeah, are we robots? I would hope not.
Used properly, it should be fine, but it can be it's so easy to be used improperly. I mean, it could benefit mankind and take a lot of the drudgery out of mankind. So that that's not safe, but again, it can be used improperly, very just as easy.
Right.
Where it gets and where it can be used in the right hands, it can be used for good. It's also helping a lot of, it also helps with drugs and things like that, where digital also comes into that too. It's literally all over the world. They no longer weigh their drugs with what they used to by manually. They weigh it with digital scales and all that good stuff.
Well,
I don't
yeah.
even, I don't even think people that smoke pot, for instance. I don't even think they ever. I don't think they rely on actually rolling a joint anymore. I think it's just using the vape.
As long as they get their high just the same, they don't really care.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's how they make their money is the more it weighs, the more you pay.
Mhm.
The less it weighs, the less you get, I mean, me, I'm all for the new. I mean, I'm not going to say I'm all in on technology, but I'm not going to. I'm not going to say no to technology neither, because it's just like money. We need it.
Mhm. Mhm. It all comes down to a necessity.
And I'm not saying we need money as in like I need it. I need it for because I'm greedy. It's I need it to survive. I need it to buy the food and no, Nevada, no. She said no.
Oh, she
So,
wants the money, believe me.
so now I'm going to dig a little deeper here and ask you guys' opinion on the whole. Since we're talking about technology, the whole mark of the beast and uh, the whole how that comes about with technology and all that stuff. Are you guys think that they're going to try to get to the point where they're going to force us to be programmed with something and
Have a chip implanted on you?
what was that, Mark?
Have a chip implanted in you?
Well, yeah, either that or some type of barcode or something to be
Well,
scanned.
you're already carrying a chip in your iPhone. They've got one right there. I can scan it, boom, and it's done.
Well, yeah, but I mean, there have been stories. Actually, Elon Musk was one that had talked about, and from what I've heard and what I've read, you can't believe everything you hear or read. But rumor has it that he was been experimenting on putting chips in animals to see if something like that would work, and it's like that's when you start pushing technology a little too far.
Well, in an animal, I can see.
They've already
But in a
got that where you
human-
can track your animal.
Yeah, but I mean,
Because look. Because if you look at it, animals don't. Animals don't have a place to go like we do.
yeah. Well, I mean, that depends on personal belief now.
I mean, true. I mean, people may believe. I mean, look, I believe for the greater good that there is a doggy heaven and there is a kitty cat heaven. For the greater good. But then, you sit back in reality. Is there?
I mean, technology and on the subject of technology, you can really dig deep into a vast variety of topics, subjects, conversations, because I can't name at least one conversation in the past, I don't know, probably like 20 years at least, that I've had that has not involved technology, whether it be, I mean, at best, walking down the street, hey, how you doing? How was your day? And then you just keep on walking. Other than that, if you sit there and you talk like we are, I don't think you can fully have a conversation with somebody nowadays where something does not get brought up about technology. Or
I mean, look, like the dating world and like everything, you don't even gotta go out your house. You can log on to your computer and you can have a virtual date with somebody. It's crazy. You may not be able to eat you may not be able to, taste the food or anything like that, but you can go on a virtual world, go on a virtual date, make
have
virtual love.
with-
I mean, it's crazy.
I feel like we are talking way too much, and poor Mark is just over there, just like being seen. Mark, come on now, jump in. Give your thoughts, your opinions. Just talk away.
I'm fine. Don't even talk to me about virtual dating.
Is it something you've tried, Mark?
Oh, yes. I learned what ghosting was all about. And I had no clue what ghosting was about. I spent time and actually, did what was it back then? It was Skype. I did a Skype call, with video, with this young woman actually in Sumy, Ukraine. Everything was fine, so I make a trip to Ukraine. I actually flew to Ukraine to go on a date, real physical date. Boy, I found out what ghosting was all about. I had no clue.
Ugh.
It was an experience. Don't care to repeat that one.
Yeah.
You pretty much
sucks.
just took a vacation, huh?
Well, I mean, virtual is fine. I mean, but you miss a good amount of actually understanding the real person behind the screen.
Yeah.
Also, I mean, if it's just words on a screen, I mean, that's a paragraph, that's a sentence. Is that really the person? You have no, I mean, it's scam. I mean, most of them are there to fleece the men.
Like Muhammad.
They are. They are designed to keep you engaged forever. Taking money away from your pocket into theirs.
And it's, you look at whether it's the dating, virtual dating, or any of this stuff, when you read, and even in text messages, I've gotten in literal arguments with people and downright fights with people over a text message because they misinterpreted what I said. It's like, that's why I like texting. It's easy, it's convenient, but at the same time, I don't like it because you don't know somebody's tone behind a text message. Mark, like you said, you're reading on a screen. I could say something in one context, and the person on the other end of that screen is going to read it and take it in a different, completely different context.
Oh, dude, I know when you text me. I know when you're a jackass or when you're an ass. I just know you.
I mean,
But
I know
had you
you-
never
you're
met
good.
him, you never talked with him in person or even video, it's just words on a screen. You
right.
have
Yeah.
nothing to compare it to understand. No, you're being a jackass. I got that. That's your normal playing. You don't know that.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, Andy's an asshole today. All right, it's a bad day for him. Or, oh, hey, he was just, he's just kidding. All right, But I mean, again, that's the only time I think that there's really no confusion over text messages. You really have to know, you really have to know the person that you're talking to on the other side there. Otherwise, it's just going to be frustration, confusion, and friendships and things end over this type of shit, and it puts a rift
Mom's
in
in the shower, Naomi.
or whatever. It doesn't need to be there. Yes, there's very much a downside, a very huge downside to technology, just as much as there is a huge upside.
There is. I mean, it is. It's how it's used. It can be very beneficial for an individual or mankind, but it can also be just turn around, just be the opposite. All how
Then
it's
with virtual
used.
dating. And then with virtual dating, it's like it could be a woman posing as a man. Or it could be a man posing as a woman.
Exactly. It could be an AI bot responding to you. You have no clue if it's a real person.
Well, look, there's an app. It's called there's an app. It's called Talkie, and Talkie, and it's an AI app, and you get this type of character, and you can actually phone call with the AI and have a conversation.
Yeah.
It'll be like, "What are you doing?" I know all you gotta do is say, "What are you doing today?" "I'm doing nothing. I'm just sitting here. What are you up to?"
The funniest thing about that is I remember back, this was when Yahoo Messenger used to be a thing. And
I used to love that.
I used to love it too. And the thing was, I used to actually have conversations with myself. I'd pull up my own conversation window and I would type, "Hi, how you doing?" And I'd send it. And immediately as I sent it, I would get one back from myself saying the exact same thing. And I would argue with myself because it would be repeating it.
It'd be like, "F you, bastard."
And come
No,
back and
F
say,
you.
I mean, that's when technology. I'm not saying technology is not fun now, but that's when it was, dare I say, almost harmless. Because you never really thought of it back then. You never really thought of how
Yeah.
scary, how real, or advanced it would become later, years later.
I mean, I'm thankful for technology now because I have my pros and cons, and I'm sure everyone else does. But one thing I do have to say is I've met some cool people, and I met some people that's now a family, and well, for technology, I wouldn't have met you two, and that's one thing about technology I'm thankful for. Now, there's other things about technology that can kick rocks, like this fake AI girlfriend mess. I got a friend of mine. I won't say names, but he's like I was playing a game with him on Xbox, and I hear somebody talking in the background. He goes, "Oh, that's just my AI girlfriend." I'm like, Okay.
I don't know who
I'm
you're
like,
talking
I'm like, and because they're arguing back and forth. Hey, you know what? You think I should download the app right now and just
That's
like,
okay.
oh man. But yeah, he's literally just like arguing with the AI, and he's like, I don't want the damn coffee.
That's when you know you have.
Gone down the
I've
rabbit
lost
hole.
it.
Say that's when you know that you're still a virgin. Is when you're arguing with an AI, because that's the only type of woman you can date.
Well, either that or you're just bored as hell.
Either that or you're that lonely. I mean, here's the
And some
thing.
people
Like,
are.
I mean, although I can't really, I can't judge in that aspect either because it's something I would do. Would be to argue with an AI.
Well, yeah, I mean, you would ask it one thing and then it'll tell you another. I mean, I've argued with Siri.
Me too. I feel like I just did that today, or no, was it today or was it earlier this week? Mark, I don't think Mark was on the phone for this. You were, Mac. I was asking. I said, I asked Siri. I said, "Hey Siri, will you have sex with me?" And she told me no. She turned me down, and I tell you what, I was hurt. That genuinely hurt my feelings. I was rejected.
I'm not gonna ask. I'm not gonna ask Siri. I'm not gonna ask my Siri that, and this is why. Just listen. Hey Siri. How are you today? Hey Siri.
You're not careful.
Tell me a
mine will
joke.
turn on.
Why do shoes come in pairs? They're soulmates.
So,
It's a blessing and a curse for sure.
Hey, just don't never ask Siri to dial. It's like 181 or 187 or something like that. It'll dial 911.
just be careful about their fall detection. I've got Apple Watch. In the snowfall we had back in January, I slipped and fell actually at shoveling snow. And Siri came back 45 minutes later and says, "Did you fall?" 45 minutes. I'd be dead.
Wait, Siri has a fall detection?
The watch did. It comes down.
Oh, the watch. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
The watch, but somehow I had the phone with me too. The phone was with me. I had a phone in my back pocket. It was there in the jacket as I'm shoveling. And I slipped and fell on the ice and down I went. 45 minutes later, it says, "Oh, you fell. Do I need to call 911?" It's like,
well, you know what's funny is that is still faster than it would take for paramedics or police to actually get to your house.
Yeah, but I'd be frozen or dead by then anyways. It wouldn't make any difference.
Yeah.
I've had GPS give me the wrong direction. And I ended up like an hour and a half like away from my destination. And it was only a 30-minute drive.
Yeah. The good old days where you actually had to take a paper map out of your glove box.
Yeah. Or what's that big giant book called? The Atlas.
Atlas, yes. Yes.
Or what was that thing you had to get off of? You had to get directions off of the computer. What was it called? It was something maps.
Quest.
MapQuest. Yeah.
MapQuest.
Mm-hmm.
Is
I remember
MapQuest still around?
2 or 3
Apple bought 'em.
pages and go through and look.
Oh,
They
so
lived in-
Apple bought MapQuest?
Way back when, yeah. I'm pretty sure I was Apple that bought them. That's because they jumped into that with their maps. Because Google Maps came out really first with the competitor to MapQuest.
Yeah.
What I don't like about the whole GPS thing is you go to if you use Google Maps versus Apple, they sometimes give you 2 different directions, both claiming it's the fastest route. And it's like, okay, well, which one do I take?
You know what's weird about Apple and Android? Android, you don't have to download Google. It's already there.
Yeah,
With Apple, you have to go into the App Store and actually download the Google app.
see now.
Yeah, that's
I didn't have to do that. I just transferred most of everything that I had on my Android transferred over to my iPhone.
because you already had it downloaded as part of your process.
And then, like I noticed on the apps on my phone, there are apps where you just have to click and yeah, it'll re-download, but the apps were still there. It was just easy tapping it and it would download.
That's because most of Google apps are native Android.
We all need to
That
become
makes,
Apple users.
that makes sense. Well, you know, I do have to say that I mean, it's like with the cell phone world. You know, I was bought in on Android after what was the last iPhone that I had before I started going back to Android? It was the iPhone 6 Plus. The iPhone 6 Plus, that was the last iPhone I used. And then I switched over to Android, started using the Samsung Galaxies. I love those phones, man. Those phones were awesome. And then I got what was it? The phone. I still have that phone too. It's the phone that turns into a tablet, the Z Fold.
Oh yeah, I heard mixed reviews on that.
The phone was great, man. I mean, great great features. I mean, picture quality was awesome. Everything was great. You know, it's just I don't know. I guess I was just missing the apple, you know? And I love apples. I can't bite this one, but you know.
Which iPhones do you guys have?
Huh?
Which iPhones? What version iPhones do you guys have?
Oh, which iPhones do we have? Oh, I didn't. I have the 14 plus yellow.
Nice.
Go into settings, go to general, and then you'll see your iOS version and along with your model. 14 plus. It's actually a 14 Pro Max.
Oh, nice. I have the iPhone 15 Pro Max.
Yes, you're the newer.
And then Bonehead, which is my son, he has the just the 15. Then my stepdad has the 15. I think. I don't know. What kind of phone cases do you have on yours?
Mouse. MOUS. Drop it and it's good shape.
I have the with my type of work, I have the life protector on this one. I've actually dropped it in. I got curious, and I actually filled like my sink up with water and dropped the phone in there. I mean, because I've got a warranty on the phone, so I mean, if anything, I can just go right up and they'll replace it. So I was like, you know what? Actually works.
Just don't go more than 3 feet.
Yeah, I see people swim with their Apple Watches on.
The Apple Watch can take it down to about 9-10 feet without going to their super duper rugged one, which is $1,200. My son's got that one. He says that was a waste of money.
Really?
Yeah.
Which I can't really I can't remember the Apple Watch. I think I've got the newest. I have the newest one, but one of the newest ones.
Yeah, it's that rugged version that they are peddling.
Also, I still have my Galaxy, my Samsung watch too. Man, I put that thing through some hell and back, man. That thing's got scratches on it. Do you have like the protector over your watch? Like the screen protector?
Nope.
Are you kidding, dude? He doesn't even have a screen protector on his phone.
Nope. I used to, but then I've never had an issue. Even when I drop it, this case, it sticks out above the glass, so it never hits the glass.
Well, they say with the 15s and the 14s that it has the Gorilla.
Yeah, it's a Gorilla Glass.
So for the person who keeps jumping in and out of our show, I appreciate you. Wish you would drop a comment.
Come and say hi.
Yeah, the Apple Watch Ultra is the latest.
Nice.
The Apple Watch Ultra. I think I don't know which one I have. I think it's not
water resistant to 100 meters. That's scuba diving there, guys.
100 meters is
100 meters.
Water resistant, 100 m.
And convert that into feet, and what do you got?
A lot. That's scuba diving.
Wow.
However, though, does it actually work?
No, it's my son's got one, and it says it works, but it's just like it's bigger and bulkier too. I mean, it is tough, titanium running around it. It's not like it's the aluminum models. It's a titanium, but what's the cost on that thing?
Too much?
Blah, 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 blah. $800.
Sounds about what the Galaxy.
Sounds about what mine was.
Yeah, the Series 9 SE Ultra 2, $800. Series 9's $400. So it's twice the expensive as just the standard watch.
Huh.
What I don't like is it's always on Retina. That's I hope that Apple fixes that. I
mean, I'm still getting the features on for Apple. I've always been an Android user, but I mean, after I got my
I think I was the one who even talked you into getting Apple.
It was, I mean, Mark had definitely made some suggestions. It was definitely both of you. But it's one of those things like after I got the iPad, I still.
Well, that's right. You had an iPad too, but I mean,
I have
phone wise.
I have the Mac, I have the iPad, I got the iPhone.
He's now an Apple, in the confines of the Apple world.
I'll tell you what's
What about-
scary is I can't even. Sometimes I'll go and my wife will hand me her phone to do something, or I'll have to use her phone for something, and it's to the point now where it's just like I have to try to remember what I'm doing or how to use it because I'm such into the Apple world. It's like
You
okay,
get spoiled quick.
very quick. It's spoiled is putting it very mildly. I absolutely love it. I'd have my hands full and say Siri, yada yada bullshit, and it'll come up and do whatever I ask it to.
All right.
But with technology, there's always room for improvements. It's just a
Built-in
matter-
obsolescence, just like your automobile. They want you to be buying it every couple years. Planned obsolescence. They could make it where they last a lot longer than they do, but then there's no profit in it for them.
Yeah.
So they're not going to do that.
No.
Now you got
But
you got cars that run on electricity and all that.
Yeah,
It's
catch
just like-
fire.
but your electric bill goes sky high. You be charging your car at home. They say you can do that too, but your
You
bills
can.
skyrocket.
check this out. We're gonna hold on. Present. Share screen. Share. The first ever iPhone.
And what year is this?
2007.
Yeah,
Wow.
early 2000s. For one that old, it's not that bad, really.
Look how
GSM.
bulky it was.
Yeah, but still, you compare this to let's see, 2007. You compare this to a lot of the phones of that time. I mean, this was still, I believe, more advanced for that time than what was available for that year.
I liked the Motorola Razr back then.
I
That was
did
a
too.
beautiful phone. Yes.
I got a Mercedes Benz that's a 20 years, 20, 25, 24 years old, 2020. It had, coming from Mercedes, had a docking for a Motorola Razr in the car. Part of the car had a docking for a Motorola Razr.
It's amazing how excited people get over, like, for instance, the Motorola Razr. I mean, because that used to excite me. I used to love the flip phones,
Yeah.
and then you get into the more advanced of the touchscreen. You know, and you look back, it's like, can't believe I was so excited about a flip phone.
With just a numeric keypad, that's all it was.
Yeah,
Just dial the number. Had a contact list, but that was it.
you had the games back in the day, like what was it, Centipede, or that game even used to get me
Pac-Man.
so excited because, and all it was it started out as like a dot, and you would go and the snake would get bigger and bigger, and it's amazing on how something that simple back in the early 2000s used to keep people so busy and entertained.
Yeah.
I used to have this iPhone as well, the iPhone 5C.
Yeah.
Banana yellow.
Yeah. That's what this iPhone here was very small. I mean, very small. They had white. I wouldn't say red. I wouldn't even say red. It was white. I guess like a hot pink, a yellow, a blue, and a green.
I end up getting, and just looking at mine. Mine looks, I think it looks small, but it's one of the biggest ones they have for for the 15, and I prefer the bigger
No, the
screens.
biggest. Ouch. No, the biggest. I mean, it's probably big, but the biggest iPhones are the pluses.
Oh, okay. I like the bigger screens though. It gives me more
I mean,
texting.
look, this phone's huge.
You got the plus, right?
Yeah, this is the plus.
Okay, yeah, I can.
So, and then here's the back. I tell you what, man. Motorola, I loved Motorola when Motorola first came out. I loved I loved used to playing with the volume button. Just the way it sounded when you turn it up and down. Then let's see, I had a Razor. I had the gray Razor, and then I
Speaking,
remember they started coming out with the phones with the keyboards where the screen would slide up and then you would have the keyboard.
the keyboard, yep. Even the consoles like PlayStation, Xbox, all that are very, 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 very advanced. And it's just like, go ahead.
Yeah. No, I was saying, hey Mark, do you think that like the old Blackberries, I mean they probably wouldn't work for like internet, but like maybe for like keeping notes or something, like a Palm Pilot.
Oh,
You
I
think they
had
would
one of those
still?
too.
You think they would still
They
still
still
work?
work. Yep. Blackberries were used a lot in the military because you can secure them down a lot. Their encryption and their security was a lot stronger than they were at the time. Now you've got much more security built into the iPhones and the Samsung Galaxies than they used to have.
Yeah.
BlackBerry was very strong in military and in government.
I still want one just to have one. My dad had a BlackBerry, but he had I think that's when I know Nokia and BlackBerry had a crossover back in the day, and I mean I swear the phone wasn't just as big as my AirPods, and I'm like, Dad, how are you texting on that, man? I'm like, we have big hands. I mean,
Yeah, you had to know what those Motorola's and Blackberries. They didn't have a keyboard. You had to know what the numbers were. Push one key down. Okay, now that 4 is these characters. Which character is it?
Yeah, but you do notice though, like on our phones now, they still have the letters on the number.
Yep.
Why? And I still wonder about that. Why?
Yep.
I still wonder. Like I don't understand. I don't understand why.
Well, yeah, but if you look at 1-800-Apple. Okay, what is that? It's 1-800. Then you got to go back to it's 2A. Then you have to go find the P. Well, the P's over there at 7. So if you can get the right phone number that actually spells something, it's very nice and be able to remember it.
Yeah, because I think like with Wachovia, it's like 1-888 They don't even. They just give you 1-888 Wachovia, or I mean it's Wells Fargo now, but
if you can get the right number, it's an easy way to remember it. And that's, again, it's back to marketing and being able to sell your product. And I think people to remember your product. Now you're making me go out there to Motorola, going out on eBay, $35, $40 for a Motorola Razr 3. Unlocked GSM. Which means it's going to be an AT&T. New ones look nice too, though.
Yeah, they are pretty nice.
Small and fits in your.
Let's see if I'll be right back. I'm gonna go watch the phone. I'm gonna grab.
Okay, right now at this moment, when we have nobody else but me, we have 50,000 people show up. And there they all go.
Hey, wait, we just had 50,000 people and Andrew just missed it, man. So here is the Z Fold right here. So you got the Z and then it folds out.
Folds out. Oh, that's a big phone. Big screen.
Yeah, this is what I had before I switched over to Apple. Nothing wrong with the phone. I just got tired of Android again, and I'm sure 5 years later down the road I'll get tired of it. It's a love-hate thing, man, with technology.
Yeah, they're always one-upping each other. Somebody will come out, Android will come out with some new widget of some type, and then Apple will come back, 18 months later and put the same thing on it, and then Apple will come up with something, and Android comes back later. It goes back and forth.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's a love-hate thing. I mean, oh hey, look. I do know one thing about Android and Apple. Apple used to never set a ringtone on your phone. There was like some type of way that you had to do it, and then with Android, all you had to do was just use an app. But I remember like back when I had my first like Nokia phone, it was the Poly ringtones, It was
Yep.
I had Sweet Home Alabama as a ringtone. It was just that's all it was.
What I got here? There to settings. It's probably not there. Not there. Sounds. Ringtones.
Andrew's back, and now all of our 50,000 people went away.
We had 50,000 show up, and you weren't even here to see it.
Yeah, right.
Now, see, this is one I have for my daughter. Let's listen to this one. Well, if I can get it turned up here. Try it again.
It's your daughter calling you today.
I like that. That's cool.
What will she say? Don't let this call go away. Daughter, pick up for your daughter.
There you go, Andy. That's for your Nevada when she gets a little older.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You don't want to miss that call. She wants money.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's that's gonna be the one. I mean,
That's
daughter's
almost
11.
That's how most girls start out learning how to use ATMs. They just go up to the parent, push their belly button, do.
Reach out your hand and then take the card.
Yeah. Oh,
Or
if
the
I go up
cash.
there, if I go up there, push on Daddy's belly, a plastic card will extend from his wallet. Like, yeah, that's not quite how that works, kid.
Not fun.
I find it though that when it comes to your little girls, it's a lot harder. You can sit there and say, "Well, I'm not going to do this or that and the other," and it's a lot easier said than done. Whether it's nope, she's not going to get this or that with money, and it's like, yeah, all she got to do is put on that face, and she gets whatever she wants.
All about that bass. That bass.
All about that money, all that money.
I mean, it's
Certainly, Mark. Dad's been teaching her this little trick. I take her hand, and now she expects it because she does it on her own. I'll take her hand, I'll go, gentleman. And I kiss her hand like a gentleman. And there's times she'll be sitting in her chair and she'll just go like this and wait for me to kiss it.
So this is when Andrew calls me.
Alicia is calling.
What did you say?
Turn it up.
Said, asshole is now calling.
I mean, that sounds about right.
Oh wait. Man, but I tell you what, Andrew, you missed our 100 you missed our 100 viewers, man. And then as soon as you get back,
Right?
huh?
I said I missed your crock of bullshit, right?
No.
So you're telling me when I watch this replay later, I'm going to see where it says 100 people.
Yeah.
Unless you got a viewing problem.
Yeah.
I mean, that'd be great if we had 100 people in here. For some reason, I know how Mac is, and I just feel like he's bullshitting me.
But I'm not the only one who told you.
If not, though, I mean that's great, though. I mean, I'm definitely appreciative of everybody who stopped in.
I don't know who keeps stopping in, dude. It's like I said, it's just like one person. They come in for like 5 minutes, they go away, they come back, they go away. But hey,
But it's appreciated. You know, at least they're willing to stop in, see what we're about, and you know, and to have that many at the same time. I mean, that's the best we've gotten so far at one time.
but if I have to rate this, raspberry lemonade kombucha, 1 out of 10.
Oh, that's why you got to go to Red Bull.
No,
I'd
you
give it
haven't
a
given me the
7.
number yet.
I'll give it a 7.
Oh,
It's not bad.
That's not bad.
I thought he said
Not
1 out of
bad.
Yeah, it's rated from 1 to 10.
10.
Yeah.
I know it's been a long day for you, Andy. Long day.
Yes, very much so.
No
Apparently,
sleep. I got it.
well, apparently, sometime this week, I think it was probably on Thursday. I apparently missed a whole month. Apparently, April is also on the calendar, and I completely skipped over April, thinking that May was our next month coming up.
Really? Hey. It's okay. You know what I wrote on paper this morning? I wrote what was it? What's today's date? The 17th?
16.
16th. I wrote today's date and I wrote 2021.
All right. Time traveler. Go buy some stock real quick.
Right?
So you can bring that stock back with you. Get some
I tell you
Bitcoin.
what.
Bitcoin back then. Buy that at 21. Yeah, that's fine. Buy it.
Yeah, buy it. Travel back into the future. Hey,
That's
we're
right.
rich. We are rich.
Hey, cut it out. All right, guys. Well, it's about that time. So, is there any final thoughts we should add before we start wrapping up?
Technology. It's up to you to choose what you want.
Yeah. It's how it's used. It's how it's used. It can be good for good or both, good or bad.
Yeah. On that note,
Good night, everyone from the East Coast.
yeah, go check
Those
out
on
our
the West
website.
Coast. Sorry about that.
Go check out our website. It is listed in the description. And of course, you know what time it is, Mac. Gotta have Mark throw it up there too.
Oh, hook 'em horns? Really?
If it ain't sweet, it ain't tasty.
It ain't tasty.
Boom.
And on that note,
It's
you
time
have
to
the too
get
sweet.
your ass
Your
down.
arse on
Texas,
out of
man.
here.
Hook 'em horns, man.
All right,
See
we
you
love
later,
you
guys.
guys.
Have a good night.
You
Love
too.
you
Thanks,
guys.
Mark.
Night.
Love y'all. Catch you on down
Talk
the
to you
road.
guys later.